I have some exciting news. I'm have an opportunity to interview the ministers, wonderful ministry team, Minister Larry Olinger Jr. and Minister Navika Olinger. Got some exciting details about their ministry forthcoming today. We're going to talk about it. Let's just get right into it. The ministers, which if you're watching this video, you probably already know them personally, and if you don't, you will know them soon. You're going to see them on every screen, every device, every internet portal that you see, because they're going full forward in 2016 with this ministry that they call Marriage Matters Today. Let's just start right there, because that has such a deep connotation. Marriage matters today. In a world filled today where we see so many people getting divorced, having issues, people not even being married, all sorts of things. Here you guys are coming full-fledged in 2016, moving forward with this ministry that you call Marriage Matters Today. What is Marriage Matters Today?
Marriage Matters Today is a ministry that God had placed in our hearts to be able to touch other individuals. We went through a lot of different things in our relationship, so He's given us a lot of different insight to be able to show other individuals how to cope within their own relationships, in their own marriages. So our main goal is to reach people, because we believe that spending time together is very important for one another. So we want to make sure that we can get these couples to understand, to spend time with one another, to get them in an environment to where they can reconnect with one another. Not only reconnect with one another, but reconnect with God as they're also connecting with one another.
Very interesting point. Go ahead, Minister Navika, you were going to say something?
Yes, I was going to say, it's basically a marriage mentorship. What we want to do is encourage and inspire and empower couples. What we want to do is be a support system. We want to be that go-to system that people can, use as a resource when they're going through difficulties in their marriage. Even when they, sometimes it's not that they're going through a difficult time, but they just need some information. They just need something to help them to make their marriages better.
Right.
I always say, if you want to be a master at something, you learn about it. And if you want to be a master in your marriage, you learn.
Interesting. Now, as you both gave me answers to that question, three things that you highlighted, and I don't know if that was intentional. You guys it's fascinating how you do that. Three things jumped out at me, three words: empower, mentorship, and encouragement. And that's a perfect segue, because what I wanted to ask, it sounds like you've been doing this for quite a while now. What exactly is it that you do for couples? Can you give us a little background on how does this go about?
There sometimes we actually mentor different couples one-on-one. We mentor with them, and we try to give them as much information as we possibly can give them, because we're just basing these things off the foundation that God has already laid in our lives. Right. So we encourage them, and we try to help them build each other up, and to get their stability within the marriage relationships. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we have the issues that we have because we don't know how to communicate with one another. Because we're so used to doing things our own way, because that's how it was before we met our significant other. You know what I mean? So we try to give them tools to be able to work through those different kind of things. And then, we got our Facebook page, and we put little quotes and things out on there. And it's just to encourage and push people forward and have them to have an attitude that we can do this.
Interesting. I have a PowerPoint that you guys have provided the company today with lots of good information about Marriage Matters Today. What we'll do is we'll take that PowerPoint and make it available on your website and on the Facebook and these types of things. So you're on Facebook. You mentioned what other media outlets are you on?
We have our Twitter account. We also are on Google+. We have a Periscope that we haven't done anything yet, but we're really excited about Periscope.
I heard about the plans on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And our website, that's where we're going to have a lot of our videos, things that we're going to be putting out there. The blog, Medium. So we're on Medium. Wow. So we're trying to hit all these different areas and these different places, because we know that's important to people to be able to click a button and get everything that they need right at their fingertips.
That's fascinating. So what you're telling me basically is even if I don't have Facebook, I can find you in several other different places.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, let me ask you this, because you talked about giving couples tools and things of that sort. How did this ministry start? Did these tools that you talk about providing for other couples and whatnot, it sounds like to me, and I've heard this key word being used throughout this interview, that, you know, faith and God. One of the most popular movies that's out right now, or that has been out, is a very popular film called War Room. And it sounds like to me that you guys are doing or incorporating some of the same types of things, you know, with the aspects of prayer and making sure that the marriage is faith-based and focused on God. Am I correct in that?
Well, you know, the very best thing about marriage is that it's built on God's principles. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, back in about 2013, or, you know, even before then, LJ and I had been going through a lot of different issues and a lot of different things in our marriage. Earlier on, we dealt with infidelity, we've dealt with depression, and just a lot of different things that marriages go through today.
Wow.
But we persevered, and we separated at one point, though. And when we got together, we said, if we want this marriage to work, we have to have God in this marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, we both decided we have to have God, and we have to go to church, and we have to get the principles and the tools that will help us to go forth in our marriage.
And not only that, we had to go through some mentoring ourselves. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because we didn't have the tools. So since we didn't have the tools, we had to learn how to communicate with one another, how to love one another, how to not what pick and choose what battles you fight. Right. You know what I mean? Give and take, because that's what a relationship is.
Yeah.
So it sounds like to me that you guys have been through these things, or some of these things, and now you want to pay it forward. You want to help others. Wow, that's great. That's I love it. Now let me ask you this: do you guys have kids? You guys have kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. So three girls. So you're telling me the depression, the infidelity, the arguments, the children, all the typical things that could be issues in a marriage. You've experienced all these things, and you've experienced these types of things, the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and now you want to help others by giving them tools so that they succeed and understand the principles. As you mentioned, I heard you, Minister Navka, say the principles that are God-based and faith-based to make sure that their marriage succeeds. Am I repeating that correctly?
Right. You know, the thing is that it was really interesting as we were going through this process. We began to see that we started mentoring other couples. Couples would come to us and ask for advice. And then next thing you know, we were setting up times to counsel with, or to, you know, just give advice to other couples. So it just grew and it grew. And then we just felt this really strong need to make it better, to make it official, to make sure that we answered the kingdom call that God had on our lives. And that was to be marriage mentors and to help other people. So from that point, you know, we decided, hey, 2014, we're going to do some videos. So we started doing those. We have about 5 episodes that we did. But then we went through a hard time. We went through this dry period where we just felt like things just weren't coming together the way they needed to come together. So for me, and then even talking with my husband, we just felt like, was this really what God wanted us to do? Was this ministry and the things that we went through, was everything worth it? Is it what we're supposed to do? So we prayed about it, we fasted, and you know, next thing you know, a year later, we're finally getting to the point where we're trusting God with the ministry that He's placed, you know, in our hands to do. And, you know, I just know that going through a dry spell doesn't mean that God is saying no. It's just saying wait. And it makes us realize and recognize that it wasn't us that was doing it, you know, making things happen, but it's God that's making things happen.
Wow.
And that's not even just in our ministry, but we have to realize that goes on in marriages too. Sometimes you go through a dry spell. Sometimes you go through ups and downs in your marriage. Doesn't mean that it's over.
Right.
It just means that you have to allow God's grace to help you get to the point to know that, hey, I have to trust him.
That is awesome. So let me ask you this, because it sounds like from what I'm saying, what I'm hearing you say is that all of this, if your head is right, your spirit is right, and you are willing to commit to the process, that it is in fact a process. It's something that one uses these tools that you empower couples with, and you use these tools, and through time, through process, through healing, through prayer, through faith, that your marriage can be not only healed but strengthened. It sounds like.
Right. Yeah.
And that's good. You said it right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that we have to realize. It's an ongoing process.
Yes.
From the moment we over into the commitment with one another and the commitment to God, it's a process. Yeah. We're always learning. We're always growing, you know, becoming better at who we are and who God wants us to be. And that's something that even with us, people say, oh, you guys are great. You such and such. Our marriage is not great. We still have problems. We still have issues today, but we work through them with the help of God, you know?
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And you know, I'm glad you said that phrase that people say, because I'm going to tell you, I've been hearing some things. What is this about a cruise you guys went on? The ministry, Marriage Matters Ministry cruise? What's that about? Yeah, how does one get involved with use your services? How do I get to go on a cruise?
Well, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing our seminars. We're also trying, our main goal is, like I said, we believe in vacations. We believe couples need to have that time to be spent together. So we're trying to come up with a sponsorship. That's our goal, as a sponsorship, because we know also a lot of couples just don't have the money. When you have kids, you have your home, you have car, you have everyday issues that come up in your life. So we want to come up with a sponsorship. Starting with us to help sponsor others so that they can go on these vacations. But to go participate in this sponsorship, you have to meet a certain criteria. You know, you got to go through certain things, meet certain things, and then we will sponsor that to make sure that you can participate in these seminars that we have. It was our first seminar at sea, and it was awesome. God bless in the ways that I didn't expect.
Yeah. I heard that you're going to have some pictures and videos on the website coming shortly of the cruise and things of that sort. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be awesome.
We have a sneak peek of some of the videos already on Facebook, and we've gotten a lot of views, and a lot of people who actually attended these seminars who thought it was really great stewardship of time. And it's just a way for us, after all of that hard work that you've done throughout the year, that you're going to do in Marriage Matters and in the program, and looking at the videos and going through the homework, going through the study guides. At the end of the year, it's an opportunity to celebrate what you have put into a marriage, because people don't want to invest in marriage anymore. So this is a celebration for those that decide, hey, I'm going to stand up for my marriage. I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to invest the time and the effort to get to know my husband, to get to know my wife, and to be a better person. So at the end of the year, at the end of the program, we have that the cruise, or you never know, we might go on a retreat somewhere on an island, or what have you.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's just a way to look forward to the end of the year. It's awesome. We love it.
Well, you guys have given us quite a bit of information, and a lot of good information. I have one final question, and this is probably, in my opinion, probably the most important question, and you keyed in on it just a minute ago. You mentioned the word investment. All of this, the homework, the exercises, the time spent, the quality time, these are all investments in a marriage, investments in your relationship. However, cruises don't come cheap. Retreats don't come cheap. How does one invest in your ministry? If I right now wanted to pull out my wallet and say, hey, I want to send these guys some money to help pay for these books and for these sponsorships and so on and so forth. I know it's going to be on your website you were telling me about off air. How can I help you guys out?
Well, we have a GoFundMe account that's out there right now. So you can always pull up the GoFundMe account on Facebook at Marriage Matters Today on Facebook. We got it'll be on our website at marriagematterstoday.com.
Okay.
We're going to try to make it where you can click, but not just the GoFundMe. We also we're going to try and have a PayPal set up maybe that can have something donated to it. We're still doing some investigation on how we can accept the donations and things like that. So we're not 100% just yet, but we are working on that, and it will be readily available for people just to click a button and go and invest in it. And you know, we also, you know, just want people to mainly know that financially we do need to support, but prayer is the main thing for us. We need that prayer. We need that encouragement ourselves, because it's not always easy to step on faith and do something that God has called you to do. So just continue to pray for us, and you know, we'll be blessed regardless, but pray for us. That's what we need.
And
well, there you have it.
And also, but don't, when you go, you can also go to GoFundMe and just search Marriage Matters Today, and it'll bring you to our page. Well, but you know, like you said, prayer. But you know, we also want you to visit our social media sites. We want you to like our site. We want you to follow us. We want you to share your story. And we want you to be a part of our family. We want you to be a part of what we're doing. If you have a testimony about your marriage and the things that you've overcame, put them in our Facebook comments, or, you know, go to our blog and put up a message, because again, we want to inspire, to encourage, and to empower our couples. So
there it is.
Your overcoming story will help someone and inspire them and encourage you to go on.
Right. And it may just be somebody who has a little extra that may want to help sponsor someone else.
Yes.
You know, you may know somebody that may need our help, that may need a vacation, and you want to help to sponsor them.
Yes.
Or just donate to sponsor to help someone else. You may not even need the help in your relationship, but you've been through some things on your own, and you're like, hey, I want to invest in someone else's. So
awesome.
That's what we're doing, and we're asking for other people to do the same.
Yes.
Faith-based, God-based, a loving, prayerful community that's focused on marriage. After all said and done, Marriage Matters Today. There you have it, folks, in internet land. We want to thank the ministers, Navika Olinger and Minister Larry Olinger Jr. for staying with us today. I'm looking forward to this. All of a sudden, I'm kind of excited. I think I want to have you guys back here in a week or so, and maybe we can chat again once some other things happen, and, you know, follow the progress on this. Would you guys be amenable to that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Well, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to tell you when. This is what I'll say. People in internet land, go follow them. Go like their Facebook page. And you know what? I'll send an announcement there. You won't be able to see it unless you follow them. Any last words or parting words for us?
God bless everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Good night, and God be blessed.
Right.